Hey, what's going on YouTube? Blacksim here again with another Forza 6 tuning video. And today is a good day. Today is the day that I'm going to reveal probably my best all-round tune that I've got so far in A-Class. And it is the Pontiac Trans Am 77. Now, if you're the kind of person who plays Forza, you turn it on, you go online, you go in a hopper, and you don't want to be messing around by changing cars every track. You want to keep the same car, no matter what the track. Well, this car is for you. This car will compete on every possible track that this game can throw at it. It's quick, it handles brilliantly, it's so adept on any track at all. A power track, a handling track, it doesn't matter. It's got a lot. Now it's not super, it's not a leaderboard car by any means, but in hoppers, where, you know, as we know, 90% of the people you're racing against are pretty bad. This thing is more than good enough to get rid of all that and then go and compete for the win against the people who know what they're doing. So with all that being said, let's get to the tune, let's see what I did, and then you can go and try it out for yourselves, because I would highly recommend this one. This one is probably one of my best. Now, engine-wise, of course, we went for the old faithful 5.7 litre V8. As I say, if you're ever going to put an engine in a car and you've got this as an option, it has to be a consideration. It has to be, because it is that good, it's that consistent, it's that varied, it gives you power wherever you need it. It's awesome, and it's really lightweight as well, considering what it is. So, yeah, I've said enough about this engine already, I don't need to say anymore. We've also got the centrifugal supercharger, again, as per usual. You get little PI for quite a large performance increase. It's always worth doing if you can. Aero. We've got the front adjustable aero as usual, and guess what? We've got the rear adjustable aero as usual. And also, I've not touched the bonnet stuff because look, I drive on cockpit view, so that thing in my way is an issue. I'm never putting that on, and plus it gives you a needless increase in the PI, so this is an S-Class car for no reason. Tyres wise, we've gone for the full fat, brilliant race compound. Had to. On the front we've got 265s, not as wide as we can go, but nearly. And on the rear, similar story, we've got 335s, a hell of a lot of rubber there, they're kind of drag tyres really. But again, not as wide as you can go, but providing all the grip we'll ever need. Wheels, we've got the heaviest wheels as usual, and we've maxed out the sizes, so maximum on the front and maximum on the rear, so we're gaining maximum PI from that part of the tune. We have a stock clutch, so not touch that. We have a race transmission, we have a race driveline, and of course we have the race diff. Now again, as I keep doing through this, I'm not going to go for all this individually, because guess what, all of this is on to the race spec, to the max. You need it all on if you're going to be able to tune it, well, not all of it, okay, you need these 4 things on, these are all tuning options. These 2 just provide you with like extra acceleration and the reduced weight, etc, and give you like, you know, better handling. But they're all on, so you've got the maximum roll cage, you've got maximum weight out, and these will set the race spec. Now, engine, let's have some fun now. Right, we've got the stock air filter. Clearly played around with, you know, other options, but this is where I'm at right now. Stock fuel system, stock ignition, race exhaust, which, you know, I always say you've got to do that really, because it takes out so much weight and it adds power. You know, it's a win-win in every situation. I mean, it does add a lot of PI, but it works. It mainly for the weight it gets rid of. It's just great. Of course, there's no cams on this engine, just not needed. No race cams, sorry, of course there's cams on it, but it's not race cams. We've got sport valves. We've got a racing engine block, so it's no longer 5.7 litre. We have race pistons. We have the full Big Mama supercharger upgrade. We haven't got a supercooler? I was going to say supercooler. We haven't got an intercooler either. We haven't got a supercooler or an intercooler. We've got stock oil and cooling, and we have a sport flywheel. So that's the parts done. That's all the goodies that have been bolted on. Now let's have a look at the numbers. Okay, so we've got tyre pressure. Brace tyres, 27.5, pretty standard. Now, I have been testing out different tyre compounds recently, and now I can say that 27.5 works on both race and sport tyres, and 28.5 is what you want for street tyres. I'm not sure about stock tyres. I've not gone that far into it, but as I say, those are the ones. Those are the numbers for the other one. Gearbox is currently set to there. I mean, this thing's got 6 gears, which I know I've said previously I like 5 gears. The 6 gears gives it more drivability. It gives you more options through a corner. You know, you can shift up and shift down without there being too much of a rev difference. And yeah, I don't know. It just works with 6 gears. This thing, it's got so much power. Like, it's 185 mile an hour. It goes. Like I say, this thing, power tracks, handling tracks, doesn't matter. It goes. It just goes. Camber we've got set to minus 1.6 and minus 1.1. I mean, that's pretty standard. That's kind of what I do for most of my cars now. Tow, we haven't got much tow. We haven't got any tow on the front, but we've got minus 0.1 on the rear. Again, that's pretty standard. Keep those rear tyres stable. Camber we've got 5.2. Anti-roll bar set to 21.56 and 22.91. Again, that's pretty standard. That's within my range that I've mentioned before. I go between sort of, on the rear I go between 22.5 and 24.5ish, maybe getting towards 25 sometimes on really heavy cars. And on the front I go between sort of 28.5, maybe 28, up to about 31. Those are the ranges I try to stick between. It kind of works. There's no particular reason for that. It's just between those ranges is where it works best, I find, for most cars. There are exceptions. Springs we've got set to the usual. We use the same old equation that we used before. So you take the weight of the car, times that by a percentage of the weight of the front, divide that by 2. That will give you the front end. The remaining weight on the rear, you times, again, you take the weight times the remaining weight that you've got left over, divide that by 2, and then it will give you your rear. Now, I think I need to soften this slightly. Not much, slightly. Maybe just 5 or 10. Because making drastic changes never works. If you're going to make drastic changes, then you're not learning anything. You're not learning about what you're changing about the car. You're just changing something so drastic and so huge that of course it's going to change. But whether it's for the better or for the worse, who knows? I mean, the car's going to handle differently. You may prefer it, but what have you really learned? So making small changes is what I recommend. Like, once you've got the car set up to a base where you think it should be, like, as normal, then you can cater it to what you want to do. So, you know, you want to make it a little bit harder in a place, you make it a little bit harder, you want to make it a little bit softer, make it a little bit softer, you want to put a little bit more rebound, you want to do this. You know, these are things that you start to mould your sculpture of your tune. Ride height again. I tuned this a couple of weeks ago, so I'm still stuck on the just one above where I was. I said I was going to do 2. But as I say, this is a couple of weeks old, this tune now, but it works really well for this. This isn't bottom out at all. This is really good. Rebound we've got set to 7.3 on the front, 6.5 on the rear. Now that's a little lower than I usually have it, sure, but as I said before, with American muscle cars, you don't want too much rebound, I don't think, because they get too twitchy. It gets too unstable. You can't really put the power down as you want to put it down, and you just end up spinning. So keeping it, you know, around halfway, sometimes a bit lower. I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, I think my Mustang's got a little bit more than this, perhaps. I can't really remember. You have to make reference to the video. But yeah, there are exceptions. But this really works for this, like I say. And the bump stiffness is set to 2, as it was, isn't it? Downforce, we've got a little bit higher than usual. So these start like what, 75 and 137 or 138, I think it is. So I've put some round numbers on there really. And we've got 8 and 150. I mean, it doesn't really need much downforce. I thought it had full downforce, if I'm honest, but it hasn't. It doesn't really need it. It's great. It shifts. It's brilliant. There's no need for any more. Breaker setup we've got set to as usual. If you've watched my videos before, this will be very familiar to you. 48% towards the rear and 90% pressure. I mean, that's just how I like it. It doesn't work for everyone. People have used my tunes. I've got friends who've used my tunes and said, "Oh my god, your brakes! I can't get used to them." And yeah, okay, it takes to get used to, but I find these work best. You can brake late when you need to. You have to apply a bit more pressure now and again, but you can also brake really smoothly. Like I can really just sort of slowly brake into a corner, go into it smoothly, and come out of it equally smoothly. So it just makes the whole thing a lot smoother and quicker, I think. And we've got the diff set to 77 acceleration and 81 deceleration. Again, pretty standard. Now, that's the numbers out of the way. Now, as I say, I highly recommend this tune. I can't recommend it enough. If you're the kind, like I say, if you're the kind of person who wants one car that they use most of the time, I won't say all the time, there are exceptions. Like this wouldn't go around Le Mans. Can you imagine going around Le Mans around the full circuit and then you get destroyed? You need a proper car. It's not really an oval racer either. Obviously, it hasn't got the speed for that. But actual circuits with corners, this is great. So please do go try it. I'm sure you'll love it. Leave a comment in the comment section. Please do like. Please subscribe. Loving doing these videos. And I hope you enjoy it too. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.